Prepare to be uplifted with RadioOnFire.com, home of the Women on Fire show, featuring your host, LaToya Liddell.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Women on Fire, where we encourage, impact, and empower the lives of women in Baltimore and throughout the world. And today, again, listeners, our topic today is a cry for hope. And we just ended talking to Corey Wright, founder of the Hope Foundation, and it was a phenomenal interview. So I said we have two men who are on fire today, and the second man is William Soul. William Soul is actually an artist. And first of all, I just wanted to thank you for being here today.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main art.
Okay.
And I just try to create positive music
Mm-hmm.
and empowering music for all people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just blessed to have this opportunity. Because I like to share in many different genres, so there's no set sound that I have,
Mm-hmm.
but all of the lyrics, which are most important,
Mm-hmm.
are spiritual and grounded and uplifting.
Awesome. So how long have you been singing?
I've been singing since I was in third grade.
Okay, that's long.
Yeah, it's a long time, but I wasn't really able to find my creative voice until probably about college.
College, okay.
I had heard like music in my head all my life, but I didn't know how to create it in a platform, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like with me, because I sing, and what creates that passion for you? Like, what creates why do you do what you do? Why do you choose singing?
I just think that since I was young. Probably at about age 5, my father let me listen to Stevie Wonder for like my birthday. He just put Stevie in my ears, and it seemed like from that point, I could always hear music. I could always develop it, and I didn't understand that it was a part of me.
Okay.
That it was a gift.
Okay.
And so I don't think I really have a choice in the matter. I think it's a gift, and the passion part of it comes from seeing injustices in the world, and if that's your gift, then you're going to address those injustices or your community or whatever it is you're trying to help through your gift. And so I think that's my most prominent gift.
Awesome. Today, our topic is a cry for hope, and one of your songs, the song that I think you're doing a song with us today, right?
Yes.
So what's the name of that song?
The name of the song is Practice Love.
Practice Love.
And it's really interesting. It came out of a bad situation.
Okay.
And Practice Love came because many people say that they know how to love or that they're in love, but it is something that you have to do daily. So it becomes a practice. And the lyrics are rooted in Corinthians 13, and it just shows and illustrates exactly what God is trying to get us to understand. Love being patient and kind and long-suffering, and not what you see on TV, not this fictionalized
absolutely
ugliness that people are calling love, which is really lust or something in between true love and lust. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I thought that song was befitting because the topic that we have here is a cry for hope. And the last interview we were talking about how there's a cry for hope within our people.
Sure.
With what's going on in the news and certain things that are plaguing our race. So there's a cry for hope, and that song, when I heard it, I just thought that it was so befitting for this episode. And let me ask you this question in reference to your stand. What are your stands as to what's going on right now? What's going on?
You mean the seemingly hunting of African men in our communities?
What is your stance with that?
I'm enraged.
You're enraged. Okay.
I'm enraged by it, and it's something that has to continue to be addressed. But if you dehumanize a person, you cannot love them. And if you dehumanize a person, then you can justify your evil intent on them, and they become easy to not only vilify but to destroy. Okay. And unfortunately, that is the legacy of slavery in this country and colonialism in the world over for black and brown peoples and for women. Actually, my pen today is about sexual assault awareness.
Oh, wow.
So if you commodify or dehumanize anyone, it is easy to justify, your evils
exactly
on them. And so I read a post actually the other day. It seems like every 28 hours, a person said you're hearing about another African American man being cut down. And when you see the footage or the film on television, it's astonishing, but at the same time, you're not surprised. These are still bastions of slavery that are still held within this country. And to a large degree, again, the world over. You could go to just about any country that slavery or segregation or separatism was in effect, and you're still going to have fallout from that. And of course, they will sanitize it and say that, this person is breaking the law, that person is breaking the law. And you can hear the justifications, which no true human being, forget love, just being a human person, would be able to justify the actions that are being taken.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. So in your music, is that your voice? Is this your voice? Like, this is my voice against this. So
absolutely.
So your music is your voice.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to write when you hear about these things, you read about them, but with social media and with I guess to their benefit, popular social culture and media showing and exposing these things, you get to see it.
Yes.
And God bless the young man that filmed the most recent, well, I'm sorry, not the most recent incident, but the incident before where Walter Scott was killed. God bless him for being there and filming that and taking it to the authorities, it was rejected by the police.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you reject that? You know?
And he said he got to the point where he was so scared that he was about to delete it.
Of course.
He was about to delete it, for fear for his life.
Of course he was.
He was about to delete it. And he said something stopped him and said, what if this was your family? What would you want someone to do? And he said, and that prompted him to go further.
And I think on a micro level, the beautiful thing about that is that this young man was of African descent, but he was Dominican.
True.
And, I've just been having a discussion with really, really intelligent, wonderful people lately that there's a nexus that has to be created between African people of Latino descent and African American people.
Okay.
Because I think there's a divide.
Okay.
And hopefully on some level, we'll recognize this man as an African person of the Dominican descent who happens to be in our country.
Okay.
Because he understands that if he's walking down the street, he's a black man until he opens his mouth. And then when he opens his mouth, I don't think that would help him.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you this. You said that you have spiritual background, right? And so how does your spiritual background affect your music and who you are?
I mean, it's who I am. God has just been tremendous to me in my life. And not only in my gifts, but just in reading his word and trying to understand and try to do the best things that I can to know to do within him and try to live according to his word as best as I possibly can. It's a beautiful path. I don't think people realize that. I think that a lot of people in the Christian faith, unfortunately, hear a lot of dogma, a lot of strict things, and a lot of the things that they're hearing are not biblical.
Okay, so break that down a little bit, because actually I know where you're going with it, and I feel the same way, but I want you to break it down for the listeners. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're gonna put me on the spot. Okay. I just think that there are certain things that leadership within churches can postulate to the flock, to their congregation, without the congregation being aware, because the congregation believes, absolutely in what that leader says. As opposed to, and I don't mean to pass judgment, because I think everyone that has sat under a pastor maybe has felt this a little bit. So instead of just believing absolutely, we have to check the scriptures on what Christ tells us to do. And Christ tells us everything that we need to be informed about. He lets us know. He didn't just let the priest know, the pastor know. I mean, that's why he came. That's why when he died and was crucified, the veil was ripped.
Yes. Separating
that caste system, if you will, from the priest to everyone else in the congregation.
Amen.
And so it's important that we understand the scriptures for our own benefit.
Yes.
And so that we are not taken advantage of by people who, as Christ say, they are wolves.
Okay, in sheep clothing.
In sheep's clothing.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. I want to say, and I've said this to many times on air, that is important for people to develop their own personal relationship with the Lord.
Absolutely.
And in your relationship, that's when you find out your greatness, your purpose, who you are, his direction for your life, when you connect with him and you have that personal relationship. So let's get back to your music.
Okay.
So with your music, you do inspirational music, and do you do any gospel?
I would like to think that it's all gospel.
So all gospel. Okay.
In
great.
terms of it being the good news of Christ.
Okay, awesome.
And his message was just not only salvation, but when he came, he was a person that changed society,
Yes.
turned society on its very head.
Yes, it
You
did.
know, and he dealt with the hypocrisy of the leadership.
Yeah, Pharisees and Sadducees.
Absolutely, as well as the Roman government.
Yes.
And so it's funny that you said it, because my mom used to say, well, you know, you ain't singing gospel. Because to Mom, I am. No, you're not singing gospel. And what she was saying was that it wasn't the black gospel sound.
And it doesn't have to be that.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that.
Can you call my mom and let her know? Because we still sometimes have this
You know what?
conversation.
I'm learning that God chooses to work in different people differently.
Sure.
I had a chance to meet a pastor not too long ago, and he had a sleeve. You know what a sleeve? A tattoo
I
going
do.
up his arm. And a lot of churches, they wouldn't accept that. But this man is like moving in his lane. This is where God called him to move, and he's moving. So it goes back to you having your own personal relationship and you letting God move you. And getting back to your song, Practice Love, I thought it was so befitting because of the cry that we have. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
And then, you know what, before we take a break, if someone is interested in hearing your music, where can they hear it?
They can go to youtube.com/WilliamSoulTV.
If they're interested in like getting you to come and minister or perform somewhere, how do they go about reaching out to you?
You could email me, WilliamSoulSinger@gmail.com.
That's WilliamSoulSinger@gmail.com. Stay tuned. What we want to do is make sure that we inspire you and we spark some hope inside of you with a selection from William Soul. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Radio on Fire is a digital network covering breaking news, sports, and entertainment. Check out our daily programs, articles, and all types of exclusive urban content right now at radioonfire.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Women on Fire, where we encourage, we impact, and empower the lives of women in Baltimore and throughout the world. We're back here today. Our topic is A Cry of Hope. And we're back here today with William Soul, artist William Soul, who's going to sing Practice Love. We implore you to practice love in your relationships, practice love throughout your community, to practice love. Here you go, William Soul.
Love is patient, and love is kind, and love is beautiful. Love is divine. Oh yeah. Love will pick you up. Say when you fall, and love conquers hate. Love conquers all. Oh yeah. So practice love. Love every day. Could you practice love? Love every day. Love is not jealous, and love is not rude, and love can never fail you. See, love is tried and true. Love will pick you up. Say when you fall, and love conquers hate. Love conquers all. Oh yeah. So practice love. Love every day. Could you practice love? Love every day. Don't you do no wicked. Don't you harm a soul. Christ's love be upon you till you grow old. Help your neighbors out in their time of need. This here is prophecy. See what you sow, you reap. Oh yes. So practice love. Love every day. Will you practice love? Love every day. Can you practice love? Love every day. So practice love. Love every day.
That was awesome. So this is Women on Fire, and this week this is William Soul singing "Practice Love." And William, where can we, if someone wanted to reach out to you, how could they reach out to you?
William Soul TV is where you can find me on YouTube, social media, Instagram at William Soul, and Twitter. I'm not really on, but at William Soul as well.
Awesome, awesome. And today we're asking you, like he said over and over, to practice love throughout this week in your family, in your relationships, in your lives. Practice love. Until next time, this is Women on Fire, and I am Latoya Liddell, and have a blessed weekend.